Percy puffed grumpily into the yards.
Percy, you had to move back.
The king is in trouble. I haven't got time to chat. Let's meet in the park afterwards.
I must have to be on time. Reciting, he heard a voice. Hello, Percy. There was old slow Coach, who he and Thomas had rescued from scrap. You're it, squeaked Percy. I'm what it, said the coach. The something old for the wedding. And then Percy explained. Now we only have to find something blue. But what and where? You'll see, said his driver. At last they reached the village, where the wedding was to take place. Ahead was an old engine shed. What do you think of this, Percy? Laughed his driver. Well, bust my boiler, chosen you to be her special guest. When Percy arrived at the docks, he looked all around him. Suddenly he saw a freight car. It was loaded with a new set of shiny buffers. Look, there's something new. You're quite right, Percy, said his driver. Those buffers are just the ticket. I'll speak to the foreman. He returned shortly. Foreman said we can use them and borrow the freight car as well. So that's two things we found. Something borrowed and something new. But what about the other things? Right then, Arsdale Abbey. That's why I like it. I'm silly. Good night.
It was very late indeed by the time Percy got back from pulling the mail train. He was tired and ready to go to sleep.
Move in, Gordon, and make room. I need a place to sleep too, you know.
Percy was not very happy, but he was too tired to argue with Gordon. So he headed off to sleep at Whiff's waste dump instead.
Next morning, Percy was proud to be sparkling again. His train of freight cars were being loaded with vegetables and flowers. These are for Maithwaite, said his driver. They'll display them on the platform.
Percy tried not to listen, but he couldn't help himself.
I must be on time. I must be brave. They must be everywhere.
Det smager altså af yoghurt med papsmag, doktor.
I can't see any.
Closer to me. But Percy was too upset to concentrate and pushed the freight cars too far. I am. He collected metal from the foundry, coal from the yards, flour from the mills, rock from the quarries, and fuel from the depot. Then he delivered it all to the docks. Next, he collected some empty freight cars. Who's this dirty little engine? Cried the freight cars. We want Thomas or Duck. Percy had been working at the docks all day and was tired of the smell of fish. Whew. Come on, Percy, said his driver. Time to go home. Please, sir, can I have a wash down first? Sorry, Percy, there isn't time. Sir Topham Hatt is waiting for us at the sheds.
Many have tried.
And I saw him puffing through the fog.
Percy shunted back to where a large canvas barrier was used to protect his line from loose rocks.
Det smager altså af yoghurt med papsmag, doktor.
You have to go forward.
Get out of here fast! The mine's collapsing! We'll just have to make a run for it, Percy, called his driver. There's going to be an avalanche, wailed Percy. was right. Worse still, the track he was on began to crumble. Oh, help! Wailed Percy. Then he remembered something he had seen earlier. There's a canvas barrier by the track. That might save us. And he was right. Worse still, the track he was on began to crumble. Oh, help! Wailed Percy. Then he remembered something he had seen earlier. There's a canvas barrier by the track. That might save us.
I guess she's not a poetry fan. Poetry, love notes, nothing's working. Maybe something personal. Poetry, love notes, nothing's working. Maybe something personal.